Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us today. Today we have a really exciting episode planned. We actually have Todd here from Unboxing Cancer with me is the name of his channel. Todd's actually really looking forward to this conversation. He's got the same similar story to me actually, where he has esophageal cancer. And him on YouTube, his primary goal is recording his journey and leaving lots of videos around for the future and to help people out in the future so they can see his journey and for his loved ones to be able to look back and see everything that he went through and how hard he fought. And it's really a beautiful story. And Todd's a really cool guy. Just seen some of his videos on YouTube. And if you guys want to hop over and give him a follow, that would really help him out. Anyhow, how Todd? How's it going today?
Oh, it's going good. It's a good day. Any day that you wake up and you can function, you got that will to. Well, I mean, I would say get out of the bed, but for me, ever since the esophagectomy, it's get out of the chair. So because I sleep in a recliner. But any day that I wake up and I feel motivated, to get up and be active, it's a good day. So yeah, I'm having a good day today.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, if you want to maybe Todd, start from the very beginning when you were diagnosed and just give us a brief little summary of, where this started, where the cancer metastasized to, and then maybe after that we kind of get that background, then we'll kind of come to the surgery. We can both talk about the esophagectomy because that's a major surgery that we've both had. It's the biggest one they do, and it's quite something crazy. So maybe we can spend some
Yeah.
time talking about that. So take it away. When did you get diagnosed, my friend? And what was your prognosis and what was your situation looking like?
So we got to go back to um, end of September, beginning of October, 2023. Now, I didn't have anything before I got tested that was any symptoms. So they say. I mean, I had occasional heartburn. It wasn't anything that I saw as being consistent. But my father had esophageal cancer. Um, his was up in the top part, almost in his jaw, top part of his throat. Uh, and so seeing him deal with that, he died at age 53, which is an early age. But seeing him go through that, I kind of had in my mind, like, okay, well, is this going to happen to me at some point? Is this something that I need to be looking out for? And I had asked my primary care physician over the years after my father passed away, about getting tested. And they would always tell me that it wouldn't be approved, that I didn't have enough in my medical history, for it to be approved. So I had thought about just, flat out paying for it out of the pocket. But I thought, well, you're just worrying because, dealing with your father passing away, and, it's really just wait for them to approve the test, basically. So I kept kicking that can down the road until finally my primary care physician that I had, she left to go to practice in another state, which made me have to look for another primary care physician. When I got with my new primary care physician, he said that they had lowered the age for men to have a colonoscopy to age 46. I believe that's what he said, is 46. And he said, so we need to get you scheduled for a colonoscopy. He said, your insurance will pay for it. It's just a preemptive test, so we need to get you scheduled for that. And I was like, that's great. I'm all for that. So went through the preparation and of the getting ready for the colonoscopy. And I think that's one of the first videos actually that I made, was preparing for a colonoscopy, like me drinking the Miralax and everything. But when I went in for the colonoscopy, I'm lying on the table and I'm talking with the doctor before they push the propofol, and I'm telling him about how I really wanted to have an upper scope done, an upper GI, that my father had esophageal cancer, and I was just always had this fear that I was going to have it too, but that the primary care physician had always told me that they would not cover the test. And he says to me, he says, well, if we can get you approved for the upper while we're doing the colonoscopy, would you like for us to go ahead and do it? And I said, absolutely. That would be great if you could do it. Then the lights went out. So I wake up and they had performed both exams, the upper and the lower. And he's talking with me and he's saying basically that, they found some polyps in the colonoscopy, but didn't think it was anything to worry about. And he said, there's one little thing in the upper, just one very, very small area. He said, nothing to worry about, but I sent off a biopsy of that, and he said, well, the office will call you when we get the results. He said, but it's nothing to worry about, really. It's just, just something really small. And I said, well, okay. I really didn't think much about it. But about a week later, my wife and I were laying on the couch, just trying to relax, and the phone rings. And when my phone rings, I mean, my heart kind of sank a little bit. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just like this intuition, like just something bad was about to happen. And when I answered the phone, it was the doctor himself. So right away, I felt like something was wrong even more, because this is not his nurse or his PA or something that's calling me. He's calling me himself. And he tells me that area in the upper that they found, that it came back positive for adenocarcinoma.
That's what I have. Same type of cancer, same location.
So it's a word that I'd never heard before. I've never heard this word before, but I know that the word he's telling me is cancer.
Yeah, carcinoma. Yeah.
And
Carcinoma gave that one away.
And so I know that I know it's in the esophagus. So right away, my brain, my connections is okay. I have what my dad had. That's the correlation, and so immediately I'm replaying in my mind everything that he went through and how that worked out. And I'm laying on the couch with my wife, and it was a very heavy moment. And but at the same time, the weird thing about it was there was a certain kind of peace that came with it, because I guess for so long, for so many years, I had kind of questioned, where my path would go, if my path would be similar to my dad's, if this would happen. So there was kind of a peace there of just finally knowing that, hey, this is where you're at, and this is what you're going to have to deal with. The question had been answered. So, of course, we're like, well, where do we go from here? What happens now?
So did you have any metastases at that point? So basically, you got the bad news. It hits you like a truck. I remember getting my news. It's your whole world flip upside down. Everything that did matter and everything you were working on, going on in your life, seems to come to a screeching halt. It's a horrible feeling. Now, did you have any metastases that they found following that point, or was it stay local to just the esophagus?
It was just in the esophagus. It was a very, very small, just a few millimeters, small area. And they thought that it did not protrude far into the tissue. So he's thinking that I can go in and do what they call a resection.
Yeah.
which is basically where they go in through the esophagus and they just scrape it out, scrape out the cancer. So he's telling me, he's saying, look, still nothing to worry about. I've got a really good doctor that does this. He's really good with this, and we're going to go in. He'll go in and he's just going to scrape out that spot because he's, from everything I can see, it doesn't go deep into the tissue. You're very fortunate. You kept, reiterating. You're very lucky. You found it early. You're very, very fortunate. This is an aggressive cancer, and but you found it early. You're very fortunate. And everything's going to be fine. So I get scheduled for the resection. It's a endoscopic resection with ultrasound. Is what I'm supposed to have. And my wife keeps reiterating that when they did this resection, they did not use ultrasound. And she's always been livid about that. But they did the resection. And after the resection, when I woke up, everything in my mind and my body told me that it didn't go well. And there's a point when you wake up after a procedure like this where you're still under the effects of the sedation. And so some people say weird things, and so the medical staff, they just dismiss it or whatever. But there was almost like a voice in my head that said, this procedure did not go well, and he knows it did not go well, like the doctor. And so I see him from across the room when I'm coming to after the resection. And I call his name for him to come over, and I hear him tell the nurse, hey, where's his wife at? Somebody needs to get his wife. And he comes over and he says, and I tell him, I say, it didn't go good. It's okay. You can tell me. I know that it didn't go well. He said, oh no. It went great. Everything went great. He said, I'm sure that we got all of it. Everything went fine. There's nothing to worry about. And when the biopsies came back, the margins were not clear. There was still cancer in the tissue that he was not able to remove it. To this day, my wife feels like the reason why that was because they did not do it with the ultrasound. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. And at this point, honestly, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter now. No, it's over.
It doesn't matter.
So what did they do from there? Like, was there more metastases at that point, or?
Well, no, they just said, okay, well, we're gonna get you. The best thing for us to do is set you up with a surgeon.
Okay, so full esophagectomy.
Yeah, and this is all moving real fast.
Oh yeah, it's like you can't even keep up. And then not only just are they setting you up with a surgeon for an esophagectomy, you got to weigh the risks of the esophagectomy, like 5% chance of death, like 30% chance of cardiac issues. Like the risks of an esophagectomy are outrageous. And you also got this major cancer to deal with that's going to kill you if you don't do it. Like everything's like this.
Yeah,
and like you got to make a decision and do it.
On the medical side, they're moving like that. They're moving you from one doctor to another. So it's like they're placing responsibility, and liability. It's like they're saying, okay, well, we're going to go to this person. Okay, well, this person is done with you now, so we're going to move you to this person. Well, but I know your situation is not fixed, but you're not going back to the previous person. You're going to this person. So this is the person that you're dealing with now. This person doesn't matter anymore. Even though whatever this person did is going to affect you for the rest of your life, this person doesn't matter anymore. You're going over here to this person. And this person is dealing with you now. And so it's just, I'm with the surgeon. So I'm talking to the surgeon. And as you say, he's talking with me about the risks of everything. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, it seems like I really don't have a choice, because I know from watching my father, I know where this is headed. And even with the risk and everything, I think that my best shot is just to go for the esophagectomy. So I
Yeah.
decided right away to go for the esophagectomy. And I had done my research, and I knew that the surgeon that I was with was a good, before I went in. I'd done my research. I know that the surgeon that I was meeting with was good with robotics. That was something that was really important for me, was to get with a surgeon that was experienced with a robotic system. I knew that my best chances for a speedy recovery was to be with someone who was skilled and to have a robotic surgery. Uh, I felt good in that aspect of it, and I have to say that uh, the team that took care of the esophagectomy was top notch at UAB in Birmingham, Alabama. Just really, really the best. I mean, that's been the best out of everything that I've dealt with the cancer, uh, as far as surgery goes, and those kind of procedures. That team, has been the best. So that's how all those things evolved with me to get to the esophagectomy.
Okay, so now for the big one, the esophagectomy. So when I was talking to you earlier, you said you're still sitting in the lazy boy to this day, which is
Yes.
interesting because I'm able to lay down flat. So
Oh,
that
really?
took about 6, 8 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks in, I was talking to my surgeon. He's like, "Hey, give it a try." And I've had a few nights, and I mean a few. I can count on one hand how many times that I actually had the reflux where it came up and I woke up. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 times, not a lot. 2 or 3 nights only in almost 10 February, a year. It's been a year since my surgery. So in a whole year, only 2 or 3 times that I actually had an issue where I had the reflux, woke up right away, and yeah, it burns, like when you get that reflux. But yeah, I've had no issues with laying flat.
Oh,
Um,
well,
have you
you're
tried
very
laying?
fortunate you're very fortunate when it comes to that, because I can't stand to lay flat even for a few seconds. Uh,
Oof.
and I have where they made the connection, where they brought my stomach up and they made the connection in the esophagus at the top part. There's a little pouch there,
Yeah.
so when I get reflux, that acid sits in that pouch. It
Mm.
goes into that pouch and it sits there, and it is horrible. I,
Oh yeah.
I gargle. I cannot. I mean, get rid of it. I mean, no matter what, I just end up having to throw up. I mean, it's just horrible. And so anything that I can do to avoid that, my wife has had to have a empty bed for over a year now. So I mean, things like that bothers me. We've
Oh
got
yeah. The
basically
empty
living in
bed part
separate rooms.
sucks. I've had to sleep when I get my chemo. I don't sleep in the same room as my wife just
Yeah,
because of the chemo.
yeah,
And so I go every other week I get to sleep with my wife, and not sleeping with your wife is really it's
yeah,
yeah, like I really it hurts me, like
yeah. It
it's a
hurts.
connection that I miss.
Yeah,
I
it
get
hurts.
I'm lucky though I'm able to do it every other week and and like you're stuck in a lazy boy. I'm
Yeah.
very fortunate I still get to lay flat in bed with my wife. Now there's a wedge that I bought. Have you seen the wedges? Have
I
you
actually
tried them?
I have wedges that they gave them to me. The surgery team gave them to me, and they've been in the top of my closet. And the people that I spoke with said the thing about the wedges is that you tend to slide down like while you're
No.
sleeping. And
No, the wedges are amazing. Let me grab mine and show it to you actually. They're amazing. I love it. I can't maybe you got to get a good one, but I got one that's adjustable so it can give you different angles and no, you don't slide down it. It's brilliant. And I put that in my bed. Like I said, the first 6, 8 weeks or so, I slept on the wedge.
uh-huh.
Let me grab it and show it off. It's not too often you get to show off a wedge. So see, it's on an angle, and this piece here is adjustable. So this
Okay.
comes off, and so like you can do it like you can do this like right straight up on your wall, so you can sit up straight.
Oh.
You can do it like this, so that you're on a lower setting, and then this comes open, and it folds this way and gives you even a lower angle.
Okay.
See that? That's a lower angle, and even a steeper angle this way yet. So you get 4 different seating positions on this thing.
Yeah.
And
See the one.
I still use it to this day. And honestly, you don't slide down it. It works amazing, and it's memory foam, so it's comfortable. I don't know. If you can find something like that in your area, I got that online. I don't know. My wife got it online somewhere. But if you can find something like that, it might be able to restore your ability to sleep with your wife again, which would just be, dude, you'd probably cry. Like, that would be so amazing. Because mine works amazingly. Like, I don't slide down it. It's comfortable. And I put another pillow at the top of it. And I still use it. I used it yesterday after my chemo.
You sleep directly on that?
Yeah, like it comes down. Yeah, like this
Because
goes.
the ones I have,
This
they're
goes up
made
at
to
your
go
head.
under your
So
mattress.
for this angle, so at this angle, so then I would put my pillow here.
Okay.
So you sleep. So this is like the bottom of your waist down here, and you
Okay.
sleep completely, and then elevated, right? And so my favorite setting is this one here.
All right.
See, so I put my pillow up here, my head's up here, and then this is at your waist. It brings you right up. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that I have are made to go under the mattress to.
Yeah, no, this goes right on top.
Okay. All right.
Amazing. This thing is amazing. If you can find something similar,
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Highly recommend it.
I didn't know they made ones for above the bed, so that's interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
restore your ability to sleep with your wife again.
Yeah.
That would be just amazing.
Yeah, I can go back in the bedroom. That'd be nice.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, see if you can find something like that. No, you don't slide down it. It works amazing. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
I'll
can't
have
say
to
enough
check
good
that
things
out.
about it. Yeah. So yeah, so you're having that issue now. How about pain? What are you doing about? How's your pain levels? And do you
Well,
have metastases at this point?
I do not have any metastases at this point. The after they did the esophagectomy, when they did the full scan of everything as far as where the cancer was and everything, out of the 32 lymph nodes that they removed, one of the lymph nodes tested positive for cancer. So we knew that the cancer had had a pathway. Excuse me. We knew the cancer had a pathway to go to other areas of the body, but we did not know if it had moved or not. So to be cautious, after the esophagectomy, we went into chemo. So I did 6 months of chemo, 6 months of chemo with immunotherapy, and just to try to eradicate anything that could have possibly, made it out, so to speak. And so far, all of my scans have been clear. So
Wow,
right
good.
now, I'm just really dealing with the damage that was done through all of the process. But before I ever got diagnosed with cancer, I was already in pain management for 10 years for dealing with arthritis and neuropathy, pain in my back and my neck and my arm. And so now that I've been through the surgery and chemo, the things that I was dealing with before in that aspect, they're worse. And plus, all the meds that I've been on for years, and so they're not effective anymore. So, and I'm sleeping in a chair every night. So it's just a combination of a lot of different things because I really wanted, like, after chemo and the surgery, just go back into life, but it's just not working out that way. And it's my focus has turned from me going back into life to me just feeling good about the life that I'm living. It's like, giving myself motivation to get up and be active, and just to be productive. And I just keep hoping that the other things will just kind of fall in place. But a lot of times I kind of stop and think and stop and feel like things just aren't happening on the timeline that I would like for them to be happening on. But I know that God has a plan, and for all of this. And I mean, the good part about it is that I get to spend more time with my kids and my wife. My wife works from home. I know she's tired of me, so I'm in one. She's in her chair working, and I'm across the room for her in another chair a lot of the times. Of course, that was rough for her when I was going through chemo. Because I mean I was just so sick, and she's working at her work desk, and I'm behind her just so sick and dealing with chemo, and so that was really hard on her. But we're past that now, so that's good. It's just you have to take appreciate the victories. You
You
have
do.
to you
No,
have to appreciate the
that
accomplishment.
that's the big thing. You have to appreciate the victories, and there can be a lot of setbacks too. Like I know for me, I'm stage 4, so I wasn't fortunate enough like you. I've had a lot of victories and I've had a lot of setbacks, and it's been a roller coaster ride for me. But you nailed it. You have to appreciate the victories, and you got to appreciate life every day. Every day is a blessing, and you really got to enjoy life while you can. So, are you having pain? For any pain left over from the surgery? I'm still having lots of pain in my upper back. I think that's caused from the surgery.
Well, that's I have, like I was saying, that I was already suffering from chronic pain before I went into surgery, and now that pain in my back and my neck, it's worse. And
Oh yeah.
when I was talking with the doctors about it, they kind of acted like that wasn't even a possibility. But I'm like, I'm telling you, like, it is. This, and I said, I don't know. And I said, maybe it's because I'm sleeping in the chair, but it was right after the surgery. Like when I woke up from the surgery, there was that I mean, there was that pain. I was like, well, this is what I usually feel, but this is so much worse. And I said, well, maybe it was the position that I was in when they were doing the surgery, or maybe whatever. But but no, it's just been worse. And I want to say that it's just the nerves of the body in general have just been through so much trauma that anything that you were feeling before is just exacerbated. It's just multiplied, because there's just been so much stress on the system already. And I'm not a doctor or anything, but I just try to rationalize what's going on, because you have to live with it 24 hours a day. And so that's where my mind goes, is you just try to make sense out of everything. You got to try to figure out how to make sense of it.
Yeah. So this kind of brings us to an interesting note, which I don't know if you look through the rest of my videos on my channel or not, but I've done a lot of podcasts with different doctors and researchers on cancer and things, and I've done a lot of carnivore podcasts. I've done a lot of really neat stuff, and I've gotten to speak with, and I still get to speak to some pretty powerful cancer researchers and some of the most reputable, largest cancer researchers in the world, actually, like Dr. Seafried. I had on Dom D'Agostino, and I get to speak. I've even spoke with behind the scenes Dr. Gregory Howard from the Hippocratic Research Foundation. I've had a number of conversations with him. So I'm so about alternative treatments, but my big thing is the ones that are proven to work. Like they got to be backed in science. And one of the things that you talked about right now is pain. Pain is caused by inflammation, and cancer is also it uses glucose as its primary fuel source. Like it's a proven scientific fact. People that use a ketogenic diet, cancer grows 70% slower or something like that. It drastically slows the progression of the cancer. In your case, you're NED, so you don't need to worry about cancer progressing. However, what I would say to you first and foremost is if you're having pain, you got to go to diet. And the number one diet to fix your pain is the carnivore diet. So there's Healing Humanity or Homestead How. Healing Humanity. Healing Humanity. That's a good podcast. You got Dr. Anthony Shafee, Dr. Sean Baker, who's an orthopedic surgeon. You got all kinds of doctors and surgeons. Like Dr. Anthony Shafee's a brain surgeon that have come out and are speaking out about carnivore diet and pain. Dr. Sean Baker was fired from his hospital because he was using carnivore diet, and like 60% of the planned surgeries got canceled because carnivore diet was healing the inflammation at the site of the damage, and people no longer needed orthopedic surgery. That's how powerful the carnivore diet has been. So if you're having pain, if you can sacrifice 30 days of your life, preferably 45, you need to give it time to settle in and just go on a strict carnivore diet, like a true, honest, all out 45 days commitment. No matter what happens, you're doing it, you're seeing it through. Go on a carnivore diet. I bet you could resolve 80% of that pain just on the carnivore diet alone, based on thousands of antidotes and all these doctors speaking out. I've been on carnivore diet. I broke my neck when I was a kid playing hockey. I got hit from behind, went in head first into the boards, and I broke my neck. I've had constant pain there, just like you, from ever since that day, right? Like that pain doesn't go away. I went on carnivore diet, the pain in my neck was gone. It works. So I guess that would be kind of as an alternative treatment idea, something that I would throw your way to help manage the pain. And then there's a few other things. Since you are NED, have you had a liquid biopsy test done or circulating stem cell test done recently?
No, all I've had is they did another endoscopic ultrasound with biopsies, and they did another PET scan. So that's the only test that I have, and then I'm still with the oncologist, and they do blood work to look for the markers. But yeah, that's the test I've had. I haven't had any of those other tests.
So since you were stage 1, it was fairly localized. I wouldn't be too stressed about the liquid biopsy test. But if you wanted to make double, triple sure, if you wanted that peace of mind that it was gone, like pretty certain that you don't have to worry about reoccurrence, you can order a liquid biopsy test. And what it is they take it has to do with the original blood markers from the original biopsy. They have that on record. And they go in and they take your blood and they go into the stem cells, something or other. I don't exactly know how it works. But basically, if you have less than 5 circulating cancer markers or cells, like you got to pay for it out of pocket. It's $2,500. If you have less than 5, then they say you don't have to worry about reoccurrence. And so it's a test that a lot of people that get NED do every 6 to 12 months following, and they do it every year because they want to make sure that if there's a relapse, that they catch it right away so they can get on top of it. So as long as and this test is the earliest detector of cancer. So I would recommend that if you have $2,500 to spare. If you don't, because yours was so localized, I'm not so
I got
sure
you.
it's like immediately urgently needing to be done, but it's something to know about. The next thing that I would say, so the next thing you want to worry about reoccurrence, H2 therapy, hydrogen gas inhalation. It's proven, the literature, it's called hydrogen monotherapy is the literature. There's hundreds of publications on PubMed, including in humans. It's the only treatment I can really recommend to you shown in humans to actually shrink tumor cells at source, but also if you're trying to maintain yourself, it would be something, so you'd inhale the gases. I do it during the nighttime. You want to get in 8 to 10 hours a day because that's how you get your dose. But you basically buy a machine. It's $2,500 again. And you just breathe the hydrogen gas. You buy the machine once, your only cost after that's water. So there's no cost. Most of these treatments have an ongoing cost, like hyperbaric oxygen, vitamin C, and you got to spend $500, $1,000, $1,500 a week to stay on top of these treatment protocols, where something like this you own. So something that was taught to me was buy the casino, not the chips, meaning that once you own the house, you can produce the chips that everybody else get broke and you get rich. So once you own the machine, in this case, you're not going to have to keep paying for a treatment. You own the machine. So for $2,500 and you inhale the gases, it would prevent reoccurrence astronomically. Like well documented, there's hundreds of publications in humans, like you name it. This is real science. I don't know why more oncologists aren't recommending it. I sent the literature to my oncologist. He read it. He couldn't believe it. He's on board with it. He's mind blown how much literature there is, and it's not being recommended in standard of care. The next thing is MD Anderson recommends it. as if you're on any sort of chemo or anything, you're done chemo now. But this might help your pain. That's red light therapy. So $1,500, you can buy yourself a really good full body red light panel. And again, you just plug it in the wall, and red light therapy is proven to reduce pain and does a lot of good work for pain. So that would be another thing that you can do, and it's pretty well proven. There's some literature, it's not as well documented. For cancer, it shows that it can slow progression of cancer. Don't know, it's only in mice modules, so I'm not so confident in it. I like to see it in humans. So for the cancer part, not so sure, but I'll tell you right now, I do a red light therapy. A lot of the inflammation in my body goes down, and I feel like I have more energy and I'm more energized, and my pain is reduced. And again, that would be like a $1,500 investment. The last thing I haven't started it yet, so I can't. I've done red light therapy now for a week. It works. Man, you feel good after a session. You really do. And my pain and my inflammation goes down, definitely. So definitely something to look into. And in my neck too, because you got to remember that broken neck damage. The last thing that we could look at is grounding, which I can't say it works or not yet because I haven't received my device. But the earth gives out these magnetic waves, which are supposed to be extremely healing. And there's some documentation in mouse modules that these frequencies even can shrink a tumor cell. But it is proven to work with inflammation in the body and reduce pain. And so basically it's a mat that you lay on, and it has different stuff that it sends frequencies through that heals your body basically. And they have healing ones. I bought a device for $300. You hit the program, it gives off that magnetic therapy. It goes in your pocket, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
you get it. So for $300, the grounding therapy is maybe a good option for you to try because it's $300. It's not like it's going to break the bank, and they have a recovery mode, and you can run your program, and it's proven to work in some literature. So I'm not saying that it's gonna for sure be a home run, but it's only $300. If
Yeah.
it provides you pain relief, $300 is nothing to spend when it comes to pain relief. Are you taking pain meds? I'm on hydromorphone subcutaneous needles myself for pain. Were you taking anything for pain?
Yeah, I'm on a pain regimen, and that's something that I've kept out of the channel, like the specifics of that, just because there's a lot of reasons, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I'm on a pain regimen. I mean, unfortunately, you know, the time that we live in, I mean, just discussing things like that, you know, puts you. It's a safety issue. Uh, there's people who are will do things to get to things like that, you know, and that won't stop, you know. So that's one thing that through me having the channel and everything, I've always tried to make sure that I don't put out anything that could possibly put my family in danger in any way, you know.
that's very smart. That's very smart. So I was doing press pulse. I was on a certain protocol, and I've done fasting, all kinds of things that I've recorded live and put on my channel. And so I have to be transparent about these things. So when I would take my hydromorphone, it would spike up my glucose. And when I was testing my glucose, I had to be transparent on the channel because I'm trying to share what
Yeah,
treatment protocols work or don't work, like based
yeah,
on, they say fasting can cure cancer. Well, I did a 16-day fast and my cancer grew. So maybe it can cure some cancers, but it didn't cure adenocarcinoma in Jason Watson.
yeah.
So
Well,
like,
that's
and
been a
during
hard
that
thing
time,
with me. That's been a hard thing with me with the channel because I've tried to be as descriptive and as thorough and open about everything. But
yeah,
at the same
some
time,
things you just don't want to share.
sometimes you know the things you just have to hold back because it's just, you know, you just can't. You know,
That's
it's just
right.
not wise. You know, so but different people, you know, if you set yourself up to where you're in a situation to where you have, you know, protection, you know, against those things, you know, then for you to reveal things. But I haven't set my channel or my life up like that to where I have those protections in place. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I have to be cautious, you know, and my audience understands that, you know, that sometimes
Yep.
people will ask a question, you know, and then like I'll give a vague answer or whatever, and they don't press it, you know, because they know the deal. So
Well, yeah, so those are some alternative treatments that I think could really help you out if and they're expensive, but I don't know, like, but I would really check out the grounding one for $300. It's the cheapest option of all of them. And or you wait till I get my device. I can let you know if it provides pain relief. I can let you know. That's no problem.
Okay.
We'll
All
keep in
right.
touch anyways, and I'll just let you know if it provides pain relief for $300. It's worth a shot.
Yeah, yeah. Any information that you get on that stuff, you can just feel free to shoot it over to my email. I really appreciate it. It'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll
So,
do. Oh, there's so much literature on this. Some of that stuff, like the hydrogen therapy, is insane amounts of literature. And I've been breathing the gases now for well over a month. And yeah, like, man, I'm telling you, like, I got my chemo on right now, and
uh-huh.
like I'm here doing this. Like I seem pretty lively
Yeah,
with chemo on, and I
yeah.
had immunotherapy this
And
week
I
as
just
well.
that's what I'm thinking about. I mean, you're really tolerating the chemo well, because I mean, when I was wearing that bag, I was just like, please, just let me sleep as much as possible, because I mean, I just could not. The nausea was so horrible. I mean, I went for a whole week, like a whole 7 days, without keeping absolutely anything down. I had to go into the hospital because I was just so not dehydrated, but emaciated. I mean, it was bad. Yeah. So yeah, you're
It's all the alternative treatments I'm taking. It's the hydrogen gas. I've just been breathing hydrogen gas the last 12 hours. That's why I'm feeling like this. That's why I'm acting like this. And there's no negative side effects, just positive gain. And so these alternative treatments do work. That's what I'm trying to get out there to people. Yeah, hydrogen's a $2,500 investment, but look at me. Like
yeah,
before I was doing hydrogen gas, I was stuck in bed from this chemo regimen. I
yeah.
wouldn't be doing a podcast with my chemo on. No way, I'd be stuck in bed. Now, I'm not normal. I
Hmm.
got a lot of chemo fog and brain
Yeah,
fog, and I still have fatigue, and my appetite's not completely perfect. But man, doing the therapy versus not doing the therapy is a different. It's night and
yeah.
day, though.
Well, you're really fortunate that you've had, so much support from your community that's, helped to allow you to do so many of those therapies that you're doing. I mean, that's really a huge blessing that you've had that, because there's a
I
lot.
think this community,
Yeah,
because I have a
yeah,
GoFundMe, and this community supported me. And
yeah,
they're the one, and like right now I'm paying $4,000 a month for immunotherapy, and this community's GoFundMing me has helped me pay for 3 treatments now. Like you guys have been amazing. The love and support, like I
yeah,
can never repay this community enough other than just give back honest feedback. And hopefully I can find these things in my protocol that work for me, and hopefully they can relieve pain in other people, pain and suffering. That's the goal, right? That's the only way I can give back right now. So that's what I'm doing. That's why you and I are doing here today.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because yeah, I mean the GoFundMe that we have, yeah, I mean, has it's like whenever that we're on the brink, something comes in, and it's always just enough to get us what we need. And so, and then that's what I've said from the beginning. It's just like it's just a door. It's just a way for people who want to do something to be able to do something. You cannot. No matter what situation that you're in, if you need for people to help you, people can't help you if you don't allow them to. And so
Correct.
there's no shame in it, no matter what situation that you're in. If you are in a situation where you need help from people, it's okay to have that door open so that people can help you.
That's correct. You're right. And now are you so you have a GoFundMe. If you can email it to me, I'll put it in the description here. So please everybody hop over and support Todd here. His GoFundMe is the thing that's bailing him out and keeping him alive and moving forward, fighting this cancer because we can't work. Like it's just a horrible situation. So anyways, I'll put your GoFundMe in the description. Maybe we can get you some extra support. That would be
Hey,
awesome.
I'll send you the link, and I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Anything I can do to help. Anything I can do to help. Well, we're coming up to 45 minutes. I think we've had a pretty good show today.
Been very productive. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time. Any last final thoughts or anything you'd like to add? And everybody on Boxing Cancer with me is Todd's channel. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. If you guys can hop over and give him a like and subscribe, help him out and follow along his journey. He's an awesome guy and he likes to share and keep everybody up to date quite frequently, a lot more than I have this past 2 or 3 months, just beaten down from treatments. But Todd's always up there uploading videos and updates. So hop over and give him some support.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it's if you're going through something in your life and you have, you know, it's good to share it, and it's not just about like making a video and having a YouTube channel. It's about somebody that you may just come across in your everyday life. Sharing our experiences and what we're going through. That's what helps all of us get through this crazy thing called life. Because all of us have our own challenges, and you never know who you might be able to help, even just a little bit. So.
You never know, buddy. That is right. Well said. Well said. All right. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this to my channel as well. I need all the subscribers I can get. Here we're pushing for 6,000 now. So thanks for all the love and support, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Have a good day now. Bye.